This spot is one of the vegan restaurants in Itaewon called Plant. I really like hummus, but I've never made it myself. I'll give it a go one day. As for tempeh, I ordered some online a few years ago, and my first impression wasn't good. So I was curious whether it tastes better if a chef prepared it properly. I wouldn't say it was absolutely amazing, but it had a lovely texture and a nice mild flavor. It was especially good with the hummus. And I really liked that it came with other sides like pickled red cabbage, guacamole, and salad. I first went to a Michelin listed Korean Chinese style vegan restaurant, but the queue was too long, so I wouldn't have made it in before the break time. So I came here instead, and as always, I ordered something I probably wouldn't make it myself. I'd highly recommend this place, even if you're not a vegan. Ceviche had been on my mind for ages, so I finally decided to make it at home. You've probably heard of ceviche. How to describe? To me, it's like cold, fresh, marinated sashimi. I thought it was Italian, but it's a South American dish. Basically, just lay the sashimi out on a plate, add a bit of lemon juice, and pop it in a fridge. Then make the dressing. 4 spoonfuls of olive oil and a spoonful of lemon juice. pinch of salt and pepper, a bit of allulose. My first ceviche was on St. John's High Street in London, where my bestie lives. There is a nice Italian restaurant, and we went one day last summer. That is why I thought it was Italian. We had limoncello and ordered this fresh starter, and it was absolutely amazing. It felt like a real eye-opening experience. When I first tried it, I remember thinking the recipe looked quite simple, so it stayed in the back of my mind ever since. As the weather is getting warmer here in Seoul, I've recently been craving something cold and fresh, so it felt like the perfect timing to give it a go. For extra ingredients, people often add chopped red onions, capers, etc., but I didn't have any of those on hand. So take the plate out of the fridge and pour the dressing over the sashimi. My special touch was some dried herbs. Unfortunately, they are all from London. Added a bit of dill first, mixed petals, and some dried rose petals. The scent was lovely. Just so you know, it seemed that cod is often used in Europe, but when I searched for sashimi grade cod or makgeolli, they only had the frozen ones. Instead, I used flatfish sashimi. I made it again the next day with the leftover ingredients. I added radish that time and it worked nicely. Speaking of cold dishes, one thing that surprised me while living in the UK was that there weren't many cold dishes, really. I suppose summers in the UK have become much hotter over the past decade, but before that, they weren't especially hot like in Asia. So perhaps people didn't really crave cold food in the same way. Whereas in Asia, summers can be properly hot. You tend to lose your appetite when the weather gets hot. So you start craving noodles as they are simple to make and easy to eat. As you may have noticed from my videos, I love all sorts of noodles. Pasta, ramen, cold noodles, all of it. I'm always happy to have cold buckwheat noodles on a hot day. There is a brilliant buckwheat noodle place in Gwanghwamun called Mijin. You can order it online, even on makgeolli. When you boil buckwheat noodles, they can get quite sticky, so make sure to stir them well so they don't clump together. Also, don't wander off. The water can suddenly boil over, so stay focused for the full 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, rinse the noodles thoroughly in cold water. Place them in a bowl and pour over the chilled broth. This grated radish is essential. It adds a lovely gentle sweetness. If you live in Korea or happen to visit, I hope you get to try these cold bucket noodles.